right, welcome back to the Dowling Gym as we get set for game number 2. Dowling Catholic and Ankeny Centennial. Mark Amadale now joined by Jimmy Cataldo as we kick off the home opener for the Dowling boys basketball team. And Coach Cataldo, thanks for joining us once again this year. Glad to see you can make it. Sorry about all the between game festivities. A lot of camera, people just want pictures taken, and I'm not one of them, but I got drug into it. Don't have to say a word. You don't need to comment because you got all these notes you got to get in the next 4.5 minutes.
It's one of those nights you never know when you are the most popular guy in the building, and I'm talking about you. When the crowd's coming over, taking pictures with you, you're such a celebrity that I don't know if those will show up on a Facebook page somewhere or I don't know.
First of all,
it's great to be here. It's great to start.
It's great to have you, really.
The season off at Dowling Catholic, and you talked about with Mike Burkett earlier about the girls, about how familiar the two lineups were. A lot of returning starters back, players back for each team, the Ankeny Centennial and Dowling girls. Much different story when you look at the Dowling boys basketball team and the Ankeny Centennial basketball team, that you see so many new faces, and you're just bringing a whole new group of young men onto the court here on a Tuesday night. I mentioned to you earlier that Ankeny Centennial is only returning 10% of their returning scoring.
I already used that.
You already used it, and the boys are bringing 9, but yet you wonder who's going to have the breakouts, and you're going to find Dowling has a good mixture of youth and upperclassmen. I wouldn't say veterans because not a lot of guys have gotten a lot of minutes, but it's going to be interesting to see who's going to have a breakout year and who you're going to lean on when you need a basket.
Yeah, we're going to also have to reintroduce this Dowling basketball team, this boys team, because Max Capola, who started pretty much, I think, part of January and into February in the postseason, he was a sophomore last year. He's one of the starters. He's battled some injury problems. And the other young man with experience is Lucas Paoli, who battled injury, as you know, last year playing with your son, who was a senior. Lucas wasn't healthy in and out, but those are the two most experienced Maroons, and that's not a lot, but you flip the page over to Centennial and Coach Fontana, and he has his number 7 and number 8 players back from last year off his bench, and that's who's in the starting lineup. And he told me tonight, he says, I got 6 starters. I came by and saw him about 5 minutes ago. I said, have you got your starting 5? He says, no, I haven't eliminated one yet. So we're still working on that. It's going to be a work in progress.
But that's what you find out in November, or December, and even in early January, is really find out who your team is and who can I rely on. Who are those 7 guys that I can look at my roster and say, you guys are all going to contribute tonight. What you want to hope to have is selfless basketball, distribute, rebound. And I think when you look at the Maroons with Lucas Paoli, Max Capola, 2 individuals who are high energy, high guard play, who's going to replace the Brodericks that we had last year who went in, got the dirty work, led the Class 4A in rebounding? Who's going to be the Joe Broderick for this year and crash the board?
Boy, you mentioned Joe, and of course he was a senior last year, didn't play his junior year because of injury. Boy, was he lights out, led the state with double-doubles every game, points and rebounds, and that was a year ago we were talking about that.
And what Joe Broderick provided was when you were having bad shooting nights, he was in there getting the dirty work, finding offensive rebounds. And you look at Ankeny Centennial, who hasn't really shot the ball well in their 2 games, and I think that's been frustrating for Coach Fontana. But they're not getting the offensive rebounds. Against Northwest, they leave they get beat by over 20, but only get 1 offensive rebound that night on a poor shooting night. You'd hope to have poor shooting nights, find guys to rebound, get easier buckets, maybe those second chance buckets, and maybe the Maroons tonight find who that is in their lineup with Charlie Crane. Seeing the starting lineup tonight, he's an individual that hopefully he gets in there, gets some rebounds and putbacks for the Maroons.
Well, Charlie had quite a night last week in his first varsity start. Well, he didn't start. He came off the bench against Urbandale, and as Gio Quiles, who normally comes off the bench, started last Friday night. Quiles with 8 points, 2 rebounds, but Charlie came in 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 blocks, but more importantly, Jimmy, 71% shooting from the field for the 6', 9.5-inch post player for the Maroons, and Charlie, a junior.
Just a junior, so he's going to be looking to get some experience, but he provides height. And the one thing I think the Maroons did against Urbandale is they shot the ball well. And we've talked time and time again in past games is the shooting is so off and on with the Maroons. They start their first game of the season last week against Urbandale. Shot the ball pretty well, 48% from the field, 37% from three-point range, which last year they were struggling to hit 30% from the three-point range.
All right, we're going to take a 1-minute break, come back with starting lineups for the boys contest. Dowling and Ankeny Centennial. Maroons winning the girls contest in game 1, 56-52. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo back with the starting lineups in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever heard someone say, the Catholic Church is just a bunch of rules and regulations and do's and don'ts, and it's against freedom? G.K. Chesterton says, Catholic doctrine and discipline may be walls, but they are the walls of a playground. Freedom exists only within the rules. The greatest act of freedom is obedience, not disobedience. Breaking the rules never makes us happy, and certainly does not make us free. God's rules are for our good, not to restrict us, but to protect us. That is how the truth makes us free. Chesterton says that while the Church has established rule and order, the chief aim of that order is to give room for good things to run wild. You want more than a minute? Chesterton.org.
And welcome back to the Dowling Catholic High School gym here in West Des Moines. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. Yes, Vinny Cataldo is our studio producer. You know him? Is he related to you somehow?
There's somebody who works hard at everything he does. It's Vinny Cataldo, and I know he's working hard to time things out back at the home office, as I'll call it.
The home office. Okay. Well, let's take a look at our starting lineups for the first time this year, the home opener for the Dowling boys. And we have a lot to talk about. Of course, we talked, Mike and I talked about earlier, Jimmy, the death of a longtime public address announcer for Dowling Catholic, Denny O'Grady, and our thoughts and prayers are with him. But also he was inducted in the Dowling Catholic Hall of Fame.
Denny, just about a week or two ago, right before he went into hospice, I was made aware that I know Coach Wilson, Coach O'Connor, even Colleen Webb, went and saw him and presented him the placard or whatever you guys get for being in the Hall of Fame, and it's such a great thing to know that he knew that was happening. Towards the end, and I think it will be celebrated with next year's class as that group of inductees will be honored in next year's football season. But Denny knew going, right before hospice that he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is a tremendous and well-deserved honor for Denny O'Grady. Absolutely.
All right, Dowling boys on the court. Let's take a look at the Maroon starting lineup. We know what their lineup is. Noah Martins is a point guard, 5'11" junior. Wearing number 11 at one guard. The other guard is Nathan Jenkins, 6'1" junior. Nathan transferred from Johnston. He'll wear number 2. The third guard is Maddox Capola, the only one with experience. He started last year. 6'1" junior is Maddox, and he'll wear number 13. And at one forward, Lucas Paoli, 6'2" senior, wearing number 3. And at center for the Maroons, Charlie Crane, 6'9" junior, wearing number 10. For Dowling Catholic, the head coach Justin Reinertsen in his second year, and he's assisted by Jimmy Nahas, Zach Nicholson, Kevin O'Hare, and John Nagel. And now Dowling gets the ball first, and they get it inside and shoots and scores. So Dowling up on the basket by Charlie Crane.
Good feed inside to Charlie Crane, showing a little bit of his height, which the Maroons haven't really had a lot of over the last few years. Got the ball on the block, strong move into the basket, first shot up, good.
All right, Centennial with the basketball in their road black uniforms, silver trim with white border. And now with the ball on the baseline is Rex Jensen, number 5. Now they get it to Will Smith, one of the returners off the bench last year, and now a steal by Dowling. The Maroons get the ball in the front court. Here's Noah Martins with it. And inside, the shot up and good by Dowling Catholic. And Crane again being fed by Martins.
Just one thing you got to look for the Maroons is that selfless basketball. There isn't that one guy who can really take over a game, but if they can play selfless and move it without the basketball, find some easy shots, good things are going to happen for the Maroons this year.
Now they get the ball inside, does Centennial. They run the baseline. Will Smith draws the foul, and the first foul of the ball game on Dowling. And this will be on Charlie Crane, his first. Let's round out the Centennial lineup. Owen Lichty, number 24, the 6'7 junior, will start at center. Also out there, number 31, Evan Abbott, 6'5 sophomore, wearing number 31. And the free throw is good by Will Smith. It's 4-1 Dowling. Maroons jump out to a 4-0 lead. Centennial answers with 2 free throws, as they're both good by Will Smith. And let's see. Also out there, Cab Kligner, number 20, 6'2 senior for the Jaguars. Dowling with the ball in the front court. They get the ball to Noah Martins, and it's poked out of bounds by Centennial and Cab Kligner. So it'll be Rex Joensen, Cab Kligner, and Evan Abbott, the 3 guards, with Will Smith and Owen Lichty at center. And now Dowling underneath. The shot runs off the rim, no good. Rolls off the rim, rebound Crane, put back up and good. Maroons missed the initial shot by Noah Martins, but Crane cleans it up.
You just look at Crane's presence around the rim, much like you saw to Joe Broderick. Shot goes up, one man goes and crashes the board. That time Charlie Crane gets a rebound and gets rewarded with the putback.
Centennial with the ball on the perimeter. They pass it around. Here's Klingner for 3, good. No good on the left corner. Rebound Dowling and Nathan Jenkins. Maroons with the basketball, driving baseline. They get underneath the Crane, and it's poked away from behind by Rex Joensen in the hands of Centennial. Here's Smith with it. They work underneath. The shot off the glass too strong by Owen Lichty, and the rebound Dowling and Crane. Furious pace here to start with. 6-2 Maroons. Now the Maroons on a turnover on the front court.
Ball, Maddox Coppola not understanding a little bit where he was out on the court. Had a foot out of bounds on the pass to cause the turnover. But you look at the Maroons and the young lineup, starting, four juniors and 1 sophomore. This young group, as we mentioned, that it's just not a lot of people that we recognize, but guys that are certainly going to make names for themselves as they get 2 years in this program.
All right, here's Will Smith with it, one of the veterans coming back for Coach Fontana. He was the 7th or 8th player off the bench, and now Lichty has the ball stripped away, the big post player for Centennial, and Dowling win the front court. With it is Paoli, and he draws the foul to be out of bounds to Dowling with 5:17 to go first quarter. Fouls on Rex Joensen for Centennial, his first. Dowling leading 6-2. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, the home opener for the Dowling boys. Game number 2 for the Maroons as they won their season opener last Tuesday night as they beat Urbandale 69-64, but due to the 9-team conference, every once in a while you get a bye, and Dowling got the bye last Friday night and didn't play. Now the Maroons turn the ball over. The ball goes off the hands of the Maroon player in the far sidelines. It'll be Centennial basketball. Rex Joensen will run the point and bring it up for the Jags. Coached by head coach Bob Fontana in his 12th year at Centennial. Now a fadeaway jumper up, no good, off the back iron by the Jags. Evan Abbott, and rebound Dowling. Each team with a foul, and now the Maroons underneath. A shot by Jenkins off the grass, good. That's a teardrop shot as it went halfway up the backboard. Timeout Centennial, it'll be a 30. We'll keep it here. Maroons lead at 8-2, a 6-point lead, Jimmy Cataldo.
Well, you see early on that the athleticism of the Maroons, nobody's settling for a 3-point shot. Everybody's attacking the rim, and it may be some, a product of what Coach Einerson wants to create with this young group is attack the basket, crash when we can get some offensive opportunities, and put the ball back. So, a lot of players are playing with high confidence. And what's interesting, you look at a Noah Martins or a Lucas Paoli who didn't play a lot last year as young players, but what you're seeing out of them is confidence. You didn't see a lot of their confidence last year shine through, but as they get guys and the spotlight's on them, they're not shying away from it. They're attacking, playing with a lot of confidence. And
Jimmy, you mentioned it earlier, but Coach Anderson mentioned it to me when we interviewed him during the football playoffs. Talk about this team. He said, we really don't have any individuals that are outstanding, all-state type caliber athletes, but together as a team, and you mentioned it, they play very well together. We've seen that here in the first 3.5 minutes.
Well, you look at a lot of these guys are basketball-only players, and so had some time with them, I'm sure, over the summer. They go to Wisconsin, get an opportunity to go up there and bond as a team, and you get to learn a little bit about your team.
All right, Evan Abbott takes it inside on the left block. His shot blocked out of bounds by Crane. Crane's going to be like Ellie Muller. I got to start keeping track how many blocks. Ellie had 5 in that last game, to my count, and Charlie's got a couple tonight.
Well, Charlie just plays long. You can see he has a really long wingspan with his arms and can really cause some problems with the number 5 player for the opponents that he's playing and really cause havoc around the rim.
8-2 Dowling, and now the Jaguars throw the ball in the backcourt, and it'll be over and back. Another turnover on the Jags. 4:10 to go, first quarter. If you joined us late, Dowling girls winning game 1 of the top 5 teams, 2 of the top 5 teams in Class 5A. Dowling 56-52, a final in the girls game over Ankeny Centennial. Dowling with the ball here. With it is Noah Martins. And he leaves it for his teammate, top of the key, Maddox Capola for 3. It's no good. Rebound comes out to the Jags, and here's Will Smith. Smith down the lane, his shot up and good. Nice dribble penetration by Smith. He's got all 4 of the Jags' points. 8-4 Dowling. Here's Martins. He'll leave it for Paoli. Paoli down the lane, jump stop, fadeaway jumper, good! Lucas Paoli, a nice jump stop, and then a fadeaway shot.
Really tough shot in the lane, about 3-4 feet away from the basket, not using any of the backboard. So you got to throw a little bit of a touch there, and Paoli had a nice little touch, got everything but net.
Here's Lichty with it, top of the key, guarded by Crane. Dowling stays man-to-man. Probably won't see a whole lot of zone tonight, and I say that, and coming out of an out-of-bounds play, they'll throw a zone in there, but very seldom will these two teams play zone. Ball tipped out of bounds by the Maroons. 3:15 to go, first quarter. Dowling leading 10-4. And not a bad crowd for a Tuesday night. Student bodies for both teams showed up. Here's Abbott with it. Gets it in the corner. Now back to Abbott for 3. Off the back iron, no good. Rebound, Crane. Oh, he's up there above the rim for that rebound. And here's Dowling and Capola. Maddox with it. And the secondary break. Now follows Crane. Right block. A head fake. Kicks it back out. This is Jenkins with it. A long 3, no good by Noah Martins, and a rebound out to Centennial and Owen Lichty. On the front court is Jackson. Rex Jensen leads the team with 2 made 3s on the season as the Jaguars come in here 0-2 with losses to Waukee Northwest and to Ankeny. Now a long 3 up and no good by Will Smith. Rebound Dowling. Like Nathan Jenkins with it. Now he bounces it off his foot. Does Noah Martins, and the turnover back to the Jags, and they score. All the way down is Evan Abbott with his first basket. He was our leading scorer, and it's 10-6 Dowling. 4th
turnover by the Maroons in the early goings, and when turnovers turn into fast runouts for the opponents, those are the ones that hurt the most. So got to keep those turnovers down as the Maroons struggled with it times last year, but with a young team like this, who's going to be that person who's going to handle the basketball when they need it?
Dowling with the ball, 10 on the shot clock as the Maroons now advance the ball. Here's Jenkins, leaves it for Capola in the lane. His shot up and good from the left elbow, and they'll count the basket. The foul is on Sean Tunks, who's in the lineup for Centennial, and Sean, one of the first 4. Coach Fontana mentioned he might go 9 deep tonight. Tunks is not 100%. He's battling a high ankle sprain, and he shoots and scores, or rather, he commits the foul. And Capola with his first basket of the night, Jimmy.
Tunks comes from a little bit of a Dowling lineage with his mother, Lisa Tunks, or Lisa Moody, as most Maroons would remember. Back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Is that during your time?
That was a little bit during my time. Watching with Lisa was a heck of a basketball player, in her time with Bob and Sharon Hansen. And to see her son out here under the Dowling spotlight just brings back a little bit of memory. Saw Lisa before the game, and she hasn't changed much over the years and done really, really good for herself.
There's a turnover. Centennial had the ball after Capola's free throw, and they turn it over. Well, you saw her. I got a picture with her, so there you go.
Wow,
and her mother.
It just shows the popularity that you bring. You're Jimmy. Yeah, I remember you. That's what I get.
Your chopped liver. Just chopped liver.
I know it.
Stage right, please. Stage right.
I didn't get a water.
You didn't get here in time.
We're not in midseason form yet, Mark.
I'll tell you what. Hobbs takes care of us. When he fears you're coming, he stays away from us. But.
Being here.
Underneath, they get it to Quincy Moore, who shoots and scores. Quincy, what a battler in the football field for you as a receiver. And overcoming that broken leg, and he shoots some scores getting in there. Both teams now substituting. We talk and they sub.
Yeah,
Jeez,
right.
Catch up.
But love seeing Quincy contribute. He and I talked a lot over the football season about basketball and getting ready for basketball season, and I knew he was going to contribute this year, and I'm just a big fan of Quincy Moore, and seeing him getting on the floor early and contributing is a great thing for him, but me too.
When Coach Wilson told me about, I think it was week 3 or 4, that he was ready and he was getting some reps recovering from that broken leg this summer, that was awesome. And now we've got a turnover against Dowling. So the other way we go. So we have massive substitutions for both teams. Luke Mitchell now in the lineup for Centennial, number 10, 6'4" sophomore. We're going to have line. This is going to be like hockey. We're going to see a lot of line changes tonight.
And it's tough because normally, faces are familiar. You put names to faces. It's just a little bit more difficult as we understand, this Ankeny Centennial team, but also learning a little bit about the Maroons, who we have not seen over the past years. Now getting in there and getting their opportunities. I
think both teams, both coaches want to see who can play and get this 9 or 10 player rotation whittled down to maybe a 7 or 8. And now Centennial down the lane. Evan Abbott with his second basket. He has 4 points. It's 15-8. Dowling with the lead, and now at the horn at the end of the first quarter, bank shot no good by Noah Martin. So we've come to the end of the first quarter here at the Dowling gym with the score. Dowling 15, Ankeny Centennial 8. In game 1, it was the Dowling girls defeating Centennial 56-52 to final there. Along with Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Hamadale, back in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
As Iowa Catholic Radio closes another remarkable year, we are grateful for friends like you who make our mission possible. Your support helps the Iowa Catholic Radio Network reach more people with God's Word and strengthens our Catholic community. As we seek to continue connecting people to Christ, we're inviting you to make a year-end gift to the apostolate. You can give securely online at iowacatholicradio.com. Your gift is tax-deductible and deeply appreciated. Make your gift now and join us in making 2025 a year of growth and inspiration.
Brightside Aesthetics by Ducharme Dermatology provides advanced and medical aesthetics, body contouring, wellness, and spa services. Learn more at brightsideiowa.com. Thank you, Brightside Aesthetics, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Life's buzzing with energy, and every moment is powered by our health. At Mercy One, their caring doctors focus on just that, so you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. Online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com.
All right, we're back here at the Dowling gym, underway in the second quarter. Dowling 15. Centennial 8. Now a steal by the Maroons. Here's Noah Martins with the steal. His layup good. He picked the ball away from Caden Clark, and Martins with his first basket of the night. And Dowling leads 17-8 over Ankeny Centennial. Largest lead for Dowling, 9 points over the Jaguars. We'll get our first quarter statistics here in a moment. Another steal by Dowling. This is Maddox Capola down with the left hand. Layup good. And a timeout called by head coach Bob Fontana. Steal and score by Maddox Capola. He has 5 points. And Dowling's lead now 11, 19-8. Jimmy Cataldo, you got a look at the first quarter numbers.
First quarter numbers for Ankeny Centennial. Went 3 of 6 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. Had a total of 3 rebounds, but 4 turnovers for the Maroons. Hot shooting night so far, 7 of 9 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. Had 6 total rebounds and 5 turnovers, and you're just seeing a little bit of what the Maroons are bringing to the table this year with a lot more athleticism, up and down pace for them. Certainly is playing with a lot of confidence, and a lot of kids who just really had an opportunity for their chance to get into the spotlight are not shying away from the bright lights. Are playing well. Noah Martins, Lucas Pioli playing well. Maddox Capola is contributing with a couple buckets. So certainly the Maroons are playing strong. Charlie Crane has been a spotlight for me underneath, getting a couple of defensive rebounds, but on the offensive side has done a great job putting the ball back into the hole. All
right, Centennial out of the timeout with the basketball, trailing by 11. At the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. And down the lane, shot no good by Evan Abbott. Nice jump stop they had. Left it short. Rebound Dowling. Maroons holding them to 1. And now a steal by Centennial, and that is Abbott again. 6'5" sophomore. He's a nice one. As both teams trying to get their roster down to an 8-player rotation or so. And now Centennial dribble drive in the lane. A shot up and good, and a foul on Dowling. This foul will be on Lucas Paoli, his first. And going to the free throw line for an and one is Sean Tunks.
Well, Ankeny Centennial has just not been a great three-point shooting team so far in this young season. In their third game of the year, they're shooting anywhere from 17, 18% from three. So, Coach Bob Fontana, I'm sure in the timeouts, encouraging them to attack the basket. Really be aggressive, taking the ball to the hole, draw fouls, or put the ball in high percentage situations.
All right, Dowling with the basketball. Here's Gio Quiles, number 15, coming off the bench for the Maroons, as he is part of the rotation. He got the start last Tuesday night at Urbandale and had a nice game. Now Quiles for three in the corner. It's good! Gio with a corner three on the right side.
Gio's coming in there. He, had 8 points against Urbandale, can shoot the ball from outside. I've watched him a little bit in some of his social media, and he's a heck of a ball player, so I'm looking forward to seeing more out of him this year.
There's a steal by Martins, and the pass down to Paoli. Layup good. 24-11 Maroons. Dowling up 13 here in the first half with 6 minutes to play in the second quarter from the Dowling gym. Mark Amadale alongside Jimmy Cataldo. Radio only tonight. Now a fadeaway jumper good by Abbott. Evan Abbott. Very impressive what he's done. He has 6 points and smooth player for the Jags. And now full court pressure by Centennial, and Dowling turns the ball over. Great job in the corner over there by Rex Joensen. Deflected the ball. I think might have went off of Coppola. Good change up for Coach Fontana is that they're getting beat on the half court defense, so start spreading it out, put a little bit more pressure full court on the room, see if you can force turnovers, and that's what they did. All right, Jags will inbound the ball underneath their own basket. Throwing it in will be Cab Klingner. Klingner gets it into Tunks. Sean with it in the lane, and up and under is good. Sean Tunks with his 5th point. All in the second quarter, 24-15 Dowling. The Maroon lead down 9. 5.5 to go, second quarter. Pretty good crowd here on a Tuesday night. Home opener for Dowling, and now a fadeaway jumper underneath by Maddox Coppola is no good. Rebound comes out to Klingner, and he gets in the lane. Layup good. Cab took it all the way down and scored.
So you've seen the last 3 possessions, Centennial taking the ball to the basket, high percentage shots, attacking the Maroons defense, and they're being rewarded for it as they're chipping away at this lead.
All right, here's Coppola. Centennial in man-to-man. Now here's Gio in the baseline, shoots and scores. Gio Quiles with 5 points on the night. 26-17, Dowling by 9.
Soft, controlled shot out of Gio Quiles as we're seeing, and we can see a lot more out of that. That young man can really light it up some nights with that type of shot.
And the key word you used was controlled, a controlled shot. Not forcing it, just taking what they give you. Now, fadeaway jumper, right elbow, no good by Abbott. Offensive rebound, Centennial. The shot blocked by Crane. Ball loose on the floor and picked up by Martins. Dowling with it. In transition, all the way down, layup good! That's Nathan Jenkins, the transfer from Johnson, taking it to the hole. So Dowling taking a page out of the Centennial playbook. Here's Abbott with it. Dribbles down. Goes against Jenkins. Now it's cut off on the baseline out to Tunks at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. 20 in the shot clock. Dowling by 11, 28-17. Here's Mitchell with it. Luke Mitchell off the bench. Dribbles down. Runs into Crane. His shot up. Left it short. Crane with the rebound. Well, Charlie Crane really altered that shot. Maroons with the rebound now in the front court. Here's Martins with it. Leaves it for Quiles. This 3-pointer no good from the top of the key. Rebound Centennial. Here's Joensen with it. Kicks it out. Underneath, spinning is Klingner in the lane. His shot no good. Rebound Quiles of Dowling. The other way we go. I can see we're going to need some line changes here, Coach.
Well, yeah.
And here is Coppola, and an offensive foul called on Dowling. Then get Coppola. Tried to give the ball up to Crane and committed the foul.
Well, just a little out of control attacking the basket. Right idea attacking the basket, just a little out of control. Found the open in Crane, but yet drew contact by Centennial. You look at the up and down pace by the Maroons, and that's what you're going to get with a young basketball team is a lot of selfless basketball, a lot of moving parts, because if you're not moving without the ball, you ain't getting the ball. So The Maroons are playing well without the basketball, and they're finding open men.
All right, corner three up and no good by Tunks from the right side. Rebound Dowling. Here's Jenkins with it. Leaves it for Martins for three. It's no good. Rebound Tunks and Centennial. What a flurry this first half. We got under 3 minutes to play, and the Maroons lead by 11. Now a long three by Abbott is no good from the top of the key, and a rebound Dowling. Now attacking the glass, layup good. That's Lucas Paoli. This is healthy as I've seen him in a couple years.
Lucas saw that from about midcourt and turned on the Jets, and nobody from Centennial collapsed to stop the dribble drive. And Paoli just had a free shot to the rim and took it hard to the basket and made it.
Dowling equals its largest lead of 30-17 over Centennial, but that lasted real short as Cab Klingner attacks the glass and shoots and scores his fourth point. 30-19 Dowling, 2:10 to go. And now a shot in the lane, no good by Keeles, but the tip up and in by Charlie Crane, who has 10 points.
That's like his third offensive rebound, and I think it's his third putback.
Check that, 8 points. 8 points for Crane. You're right, 32-19 Dowling. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. At halftime, we will have coaches and maybe a player or two from the Dowling girls team who won tonight, 56-52 over Centennial. And now underneath, a shot up and good by Cab Klingner. Klingner with 6 points, so he and Abbott lead Centennial in scoring. Sean Tunks off the bench with 5 points. And Will Smith with 4 to round out Centennial scoring. Now Dowling with the ball, playing their half-court offense. They're not running back and forth here, Jimmy. This is a set play.
It's kind of a matchup zone that Centennial's playing. I mean, they're not really forcing the ball past the three-point arc. Really letting the Maroons have what they want around the three-point arc, force them to shoot those balls, but yet, try to get as many guys underneath the three-point lane as he can to play defense.
Here's Paoli. He dribble drives, puts up the shot, missed everything, but Crane with the offensive putback up and good. Charlie Crane, 10 points now in the first half, 34-21 Dowling. Here's Joensen with it in the lane, and he posts up Noah Martins. His shot no good, and Martins commits the foul. That'll be his first, team foul number 3 on Dowling, and free throws coming for Centennial in the presence of Rex Joensen.
You look at the Maroons' defense, and you kind of you scout what team you're playing with Centennial, and you look at kind of what they've done over the last 2 games. And as I mentioned earlier, they just really haven't shot the ball well from the three-point arc. The Maroons are playing much stronger defense past that three-point arc, which is giving Centennial the opportunity to get the power move and attack the basket. If I was the Maroons, I'd play back a little bit, force them to shoot those three-point shots, and see if they can beat you from there. And right now the Maroons have not done that.
All right, Joensen hits the first free throw for Centennial. Second one on the way. Good. So Joensen 2 for 2 tonight at the free throw line, has 2 points. 50 seconds remaining. Dowling 34, Ankeny Centennial 23 here in this boys contest. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Blessman International, Bozen the Florist, and Construction Professionals. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo here in the final 40 seconds of the first half. Crane for 3 in the corner. It's good. Are you kidding? The big guy at 6'9.5" has 13 first half points.
He's going to be a tough individual to guard if he can be his presence inside, and then if he can bring the taller guys out and make those shots. He's going to be somebody that they're going to see on film. A lot of these teams and wonder what they're going to do to defend Charlie Crane.
All right, Centennial will hold for the last shot. Shot clock turned off. Dowling had a foul to give, and they used it right there. Nathan Jenkins picks up his first foul. I got Crane for 13 points, but you're one of your football guys. Crandall only has him for 10, so we're going to have a debate right off the bat.
Sometimes Crandall's hearing is there an Iowa game tonight? Because sometimes he's hearing it in one ear and watching the game in the other.
Yeah, thanks for that. All right. 7 seconds remaining. Here's Abbott with it, coming off a ball screen. Fadeaway jumper left wing. No good. Rebound Dowling. And we'll go to halftime with the Maroons leading 37-23 over Ankeny Centennial. What a first half we saw. Dowling jumped out to a 15-8 first quarter lead, and lead here at halftime 37-23. Our thanks to Skeffington's Formal Wear, Mercy One, Fast Signs in Clive, and the Catholic Tuition Organization. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. And Jimmy, before we go to our break and get our halftime guests up, give us your perspective of this first half. We've seen a lot of back and forth. What are we going to see in the second half? Can't wait.
It's just learning these new players for the Maroons as you're having a lot more kids getting in there and getting opportunities. And so my take so far with the Maroons is love their up pace, love their tempo of their offense. Their defense, one thing that you don't see a whole lot about is their communication. And that's kind of what you get with a young, inexperienced team is who's going to talk, who's going to communicate, who's going to direct the defense on picking, on moving, and help defense. And you're not seeing a whole lot of communication yet, so it'd be something interesting to ask Coach Anderson that maybe in between games is what are you talking about when you don't see a whole lot of communication with the young team? But offensively, great input, output. Charlie Crane really has been a shining light in this first half.
All right, we're going to take a 1-minute break. Our halftime score in the boys contest, Dowling 37, Ankeny Centennial 23. And we come back, we'll have interviews with head coach Kristen Marr, the Dowling girls team, along with Ava Zediker coming up. Dowling girls a winner tonight, 56-52 over Ankeny Centennial. This is Mark Hamadale for Jimmy Cataldo. Back in 1 minute. We'll take a 1-minute break, Vinny, on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
How can I know the Bible is true?
There was once this really smart guy named St. Augustine of Hippo. That's right, Hippo. He said, "I would not believe the gospel if the authority of the Catholic Church did not move me to do so." He learned that the Bible was true in the same way that we learn most things. Someone he trusted told him. Most people have not split an atom. No one alive saw the Battle of Thermopylae nor has ever set foot on the 16 moons of Jupiter. But we believe in these because someone who knows better than us has told us about them. St. Augustine knew that the Catholic Church was founded on the apostles, who had died horrible deaths rather than deny that their friend Jesus Christ was God, risen from the dead and present in the Eucharist. And that living witness made him believe, as it did for the Gentiles, for every Christian in history, and it will do the same for you. For more, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
And welcome back to the Dowling Gym. Home opener for the Maroons. We got the dance team out there. Dowling boys leading at halftime 37-23. Joined now by head coach Kristen Marr, the Dowling girls basketball team. And coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win evening, afternoon,
Thank you.
Wherever we're at.
Yeah, we had a close one. It's always a battle with us in Centennial, so we're pretty happy to be able to pull out the win.
Yeah, we kind of figured that out. It's always a battle with Centennial. I got to make note of that. It's always a battle, and what a game it was. I'll tell you, kids got out to a great start. You're up 7 at halftime. Things are looking good. You got a little lead in the second half, up 14, and then Centennial started hitting shots. One thing led to another, and we got a one-possession game going down to the final minute. And this young lady took over literally with a huge steal against a Division I player that she's going to be facing in college. Steals the ball from Crawford, goes down and scores and makes the and one, and the game opens up. Now it's a two-possession game. Play of the game?
Yeah, that was a big one. Her and Ellie both had some big plays for us.
I lost track of block shots with Ellie again. I'm sorry.
She's trying to work on a triple-double.
Don't doubt it. Well, Coach, let's catch up. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago tonight, we were at Waukee Northwest, and then you won that game. And, wow, Northwest, you guys take off from Minnesota. Northwest goes and knocks off Centennial by 1 point with that young team. So, Sam Powell, you knocked them off, but just a typical league of what we're in, the CIML.
Yeah, and they beat Valley pretty good tonight.
Who's that?
Northwest did.
Did they really?
Yep.
Wow, and you have Valley on
Friday.
On Friday night. So, well, what's the message? I mean, you're playing against a good team tonight, obviously, and Coach DeYoung, a very defensive team, and you got to pick your spots. But the transition was good, the half court was good, and defensively, you were all over that. But they did have some one and dones, and they had some second opportunities, as Mike Burkert said, second chances.
Yeah, I thought our defensive rebounding in the second half was a bit of a struggle. They got a number of offensive rebounds and some second chance points. I thought they did a really nice job defensively of not letting us get to the basket and force some tough shots. I think we look like we're still recovering from some sickness. Still, gotta get a little bit sharper, but we will. This was good for us.
Well, it certainly was, and let's get the young lady in that's next to you, one of your captains. Well, now she's got a mic.
Yeah,
She's got her own mic. We're set up this year a little bit better, I hope. Ava Zedeker, welcome.
Thanks.
Hope you're feeling better.
I'm feeling much better.
Were you getting sick during the Waukee Northwest game? Were you not 100%? Be honest now, because that game's over with.
Yeah, I got sick that Monday, so I was that Monday night.
You know, this stuff that's going around.
I know.
It's horrible. You're still not 100%, but you gutted it out tonight. Talk about that play. You had the steal on Crawford. Now, it's feast or famine. When you steal, it could be a foul.
Yeah.
But you didn't. You took a chance and scored and got the and one off Crawford.
Yeah, but I know when I stole it, I was like, all right, I got to finish this one. I know I missed a wide open left-hand layup. I mean, it wasn't wide open, but like I could have made it or I should have made it. But I missed a lot of just easy two-pointers. So I'm like, all right, I got to make this one. So I went to the right side instead of going to the left and just bumped into her and kind of threw it up there and it went in.
It did, and you made the free throw. That's always good. Go back to the beginning of the game. I'll talk with Coach about this. The matchups you had. You moved Zedeker over to Crawford partway through the first half, and then that stayed that way. And I know Ava was saying, hey, I'll guard her. I think you had somebody get in foul trouble and made it switch. Talk
Layla.
about that, Coach.
Yeah, it's one of those. We've got a couple different girls who can guard, different good players from other teams, and sometimes we like to give Ava someone that maybe she can help off on, give her a little bit of freedom to roam defensively. And Layla picked up 2 quick fouls on guarding Crawford, so switched over and kind of stuck with that. But it's nice. Ava's tall enough that she's versatile, that she could guard a post if needed. At times we thought we might put her on Pratt. She can guard guards, she can guard shooters, so we kind of move her around wherever we need to.
Nice job tonight. Unofficially, 16 for 20 at the free throw line. You're knocking down free throws. That's what they are, free throws. It's not too bad.
It felt worse than that, I'll say that. But we'll take 16 for 20.
Ava, what'd you work on this summer? I mean, you play the club ball circuit. You're playing against, probably a couple players out here. Pratt, Crawford, you probably see them a lot. But what'd you work on this summer?
A little bit of everything, like shooting-wise. I kind of tweaked my shot a little bit, try to get a quicker release and just have that ball coming off my right hand more instead of my left hand, but like getting more shiftier, find different ways to drive and like that mid-range game.
Well, talk about the team. Everybody's back. There's no newbies. I mean, you might fill out the roster with a few of them, but an experienced team against another experienced team in Centennial. They got everybody back. It's like a mirror of last year when you met them twice.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps having everyone back. That's what makes it such a fun year, and we have, a good chance of going all the way again this year. So it should be a fun ride. We're all, like, very experienced. So, like, it's just those little things we need to get better at, like, executing and stuff.
Well, one of the teams you're playing is Friday night, and that's the Valley Tigers that you split with last year. And that was a bad taste in your mouth for about a month until you played them again. I kind of remember that leading up to. So, Coach Meyer, at Valley Friday, you guys will show up first of all, and second of all, they're not a bad team. They're pretty good too.
Yeah, they've got some players. They're pretty scrappy. They always come out and play hard defensively. Hopefully we do remember a little bit from that first game last year against Valley and know we need to come ready to go from the tip. Hopefully we, in the next couple days, get a little bit healthier and just need to at practice clean up a few things. But now we're into a normal game routine, which is nice. Last week we only had one game, and then we were at Minnesota, but Ava didn't come with us. She's been sick. Ellie's been sick, so we need to get into that routine, and hopefully we can do that. We've got 4 games, left before Christmas break, so we just want to go into Christmas break playing well, being healthy, and just being sharp offensively and defensively.
No, well said, and thank you both for stopping by. Home opener, not a bad crowd here tonight. Centennial and Dowling, and congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you Friday night at the Valley Fieldhouse, as it's called. And any shout-outs to anybody? Ava, anybody you want to yell at?
My grandma and grandpa, who weren't able to come tonight.
Zedekers?
No, my mom's side.
Oh, your mom's side. Okay, where are they at? Who's this?
They're at home right now.
Okay.
Where do they live?
Yeah.
Panora.
Panora?
Yeah.
Oh, they're on the lake.
Yeah.
Not frozen yet. Okay, shout out to them. How about Olwine? I just talked to one of your fellow neighbors, Joe Stacy, today, and he's going back up for the weekend. But anybody you want to give a shout out?
Yeah,
Coach Meyer?
I'm sure my parents were watching tonight. 2 of my sisters came to the game. A couple other siblings, their kids were watching. So we appreciate you broadcasting.
You bet, Coach. We'll see you Friday night, both of you, at the Valley Fieldhouse.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, head coach Kristen Meyer along with Ava Zedeker, and we will take a break. Come back with the second half of Dowling and Centennial. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, our halftime scorer. Dowling 37, Centennial 23 on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting people to Christ with local faith leaders.
Hi, Father Joseph Sia here, pastor at St. Mary of the Visitation and St. Patrick in Ottumwa and St. Mary Magdalene in Bloomfield, inviting you to experience the truth and goodness of the Catholic faith. Use your favorite search engine to find our websites. Once again, St. Mary of the Visitation and St. Patrick in Ottumwa. We're also on Facebook, Ottumwa and Bloomfield Catholic Parishes.
A message from Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Caldwell Parish Funeral Home and Crematory. Caldwell Parish offers services that are unique to the individual while following the Catholic funeral rites. Caldwell Parish Funeral Home and Crematory, Des Moines' only Catholic-owned and operated funeral home.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Westgate Dental, offering cosmetic, family, implant, and general dentistry. Located at 1073rd Street, Suite 1 in West Des Moines, just behind Dowling Catholic High School. Learn more at westgatedentalia.com.
All right, welcome back to the Dowling Gym, underway here in the second half. Dowling leading 40-23 with a three-point basket to start things off by Noah Martins, and now the other way. As Centennial now puts up a shot, it's no good. Rebound comes out to Maroons. Maroons in transition, a long three. It's no good by Martins. Offensive or defensive rebound saved from going out of bounds nicely by the Jaguars, and the other way we go. We'll get our first half statistics from Jimmy Cataldo once we get a moment here. And now Abbott underneath, and a layup with the left hand, no good. Crane with the rebound, and Dowling owning the boards at this juncture of the contest. And now underneath, a shot left short that time by Noah Martins, and the rebound out to Centennial. 40-23, Dowling by 17. That's the Maroons' largest lead of the contest. Another missed shot by Centennial, and the rebound out to the Maroons. Dowling leading by 17. Jimmy, jump in here if you got a moment.
You know, the pace really hasn't slowed down for either team coming out of the break. The Maroons going quick. Noah Martins finding two open shots, hitting one of them. But you like to see another young man like Noah Martins come in and have some confidence to take an open shot, and then Coach Einertson having, you know, the trust in a lot of these young men to go out there and knock down some of these shots.
Well done by the Maroons. They work it inside to Lucas Paoli, and his shot up and good. Paoli now with 8 points. He had 6 at halftime. 42-23, Dowling by 19, and Maroons by 19, but underneath, reverse layup up and good by Will Smith, and that is his 6-point.
Good strong move by Smith, working around Mattis Coppola. But, again, it's what you're seeing with Centennial. They're having a lot of success down around the rim, but little success outside, and the Maroons are continuing giving up these shots to Centennial.
Coppola dribble drives to the lane, and he's is tied up by Centennial, so jump ball. Possession arrow favors Centennial. 42-25 Dowling. 5:10 to go here in the third quarter in this boys contest. Girls game won by the Maroons 56-52, and now underneath, a shot good by Will Smith, and he's fouled on the play, so the basket will count and the foul on Dowling. This foul will be on Mattis Coppola, his second, and Jimmy, you got the rest of the stats?
Yes,
get them all?
First, or through 2 quarters for the Maroons, 15 of 20 from the field, so staying hot and shooting, 2 of 6 from 3. They had 14 total rebounds in the first half and 8 turnovers for Centennial. Centennial goes 9 of 17 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3 for the first half of the game. 7 total rebounds and 8 turnovers. Centennial went to the line twice, went 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
All right, Dowling with the ball, and they work it inside to Charlie Crane. He draws the foul. This foul will be on Will Smith. So Will Smith's been involved a lot. He's got 5 of his 9 points here in the third quarter, and he commits the foul. Crane at the free throw line. Charlie's free throw no good.
Charlie's 6'9" junior, with his arm span, he's got to be closer to 6'10", 6'11" with his arm span, and that could be a great presence for the Maroons. Something the Maroons really haven't had over the last few years is a lengthy big man. And Charlie just a junior getting some experience, but he's just going to grow and hopefully do some great things before he's done here at Dowling.
All right, Centennial with the ball on their offensive end. Klingner, dribble handoff to Abbott. Evan with it between the circles. Dribble handoff to Will Smith, top of the key. Smith goes to the lane. A shot blocked by Crane into the hands of Dowling. The other way we go. Martin's with it in transition. Leaves it for Jenkins. Layup good. Nathan Jenkins with his 6 point.
Tremendous transition play by the Maroons as Paoli looks for a Crane on the fast break. Throws it high. Only Crane can get it, but Crane having the body control to get the ball over to Martins and finishing with the layup. Tremendous play by all three Maroons.
45-28 Dowling. 4 minutes to play, third quarter. Centennial with the basketball. They go right to left wearing their road black uniforms with silver and white trim. And underneath, a shot up and no good by Rex Jensen. Rebound Dowling. Maroons in the front court. Here's Jenkins with it. Nathan underneath. Layup good with the left hand. He drew the foul. The basket will count. What a nice dribble drive. Dowling recognizing when there's a seam, they take it to the hole. And that time, Jenkins drew the foul, and that'll be on Cab Klingner, his first.
Jenkins goes hard down the middle of the lane with his right hand, but as he's getting fouled, switches to his left and has a nice, easy layup. Well-controlled play by Jenkins.
Jenkins with 6 points, a chance for an and one here. Dowling was 1 for 1 at the free throw line in the first half, and his free throw is no good. So 6 points for Jenkins. We'll run down scoring when we get a break. I was kind of hoping Coach Fontana would call timeout. He hasn't called a 30 yet. He has 3 remaining. Now Centennial, little dribble reeve. They work it inside to Abbott, and his shot blocked out of bounds. It'll be Centennial basketball with 21 on the shot clock here, Jimmy.
And you see Crane again being that presence underneath as they're stopping the dribble drive, getting around our guards. But Crane's there, well controlled, being a big man as he is, not losing his feet, and contesting shots around the rim.
Here's Klingner with it. Dribbling around, now puts it up, and his shot up, off the mark, no good. Rebound Crane. Well defended that time by Gio Quiles. Now the other way we go. Layup good. Dowling tracks the basket. Noah Martins with the bucket. That's his 7th point. 49-28. Dowling by 21 over Centennial. These are two teams that have very little returning experience, and now a shot no good. Rebound Quiles. The other way we go. Crane shot no good. Might have been partially blocked that time by Owen Lichty, and a rebound out to Centennial. Dowling by 21 with 2:50 remaining. Here's Lichty with it. His shot blocked by Crane. Rebound Maroons. The other way we go. Martins with it. Lobs it into Crane. Now kicks it back out. Here's Martins again. Down the lane. His shot up and a little up and under. Good. Noah Martins. What a move.
Well, it's a great move by Martins, but you look at what led to that. You had Jenkins fairly open for a 3, gives it up, which is a nice call by him. Gets it over to Quiles, who again has an open shot where he doesn't take it, gets it to Martins, who takes it hard to the rim. Something that you haven't seen a lot of the Maroons in past years, where you've seen a lot of the Dowling teams, a lot of players who have those little open threes. They're going to shoot them. Not great shooting percentage teams, but the Maroons playing unselfish, finding the easy shot, and Martin's taking it hard to the basket.
All right, let's run down the scoring, as we didn't have an opportunity to do that, and I think I'm just about set. You got all your stats in, right?
I got my stats in. Also got a correction from the scorer's table that you were right for the rare occasion,
many times.
Rare occasion for Charlie Crane's scoring.
So I got to look here. Yeah, 40-some years, and I'm right. I don't get said that. That doesn't happen at home.
There's some things that go and get cut up and become highlights for the radio station, and that may be a highlight.
That'd be my only highlight in a while.
Hopefully Vinny's back there and throws that on mute. We didn't get it. We didn't get it recorded.
Yeah. Thanks. All right, scoring for the Maroons thus far. Noah Martins had 2 points at halftime, but he has 7 points in the third quarter, so he now has 9 points. Charlie Crane now leading the way for Dowling with 14 points. 5 points each for Mattis Coppola and Gio Quiles. And 8 points now for Lucas Paoli. 6 points for Nate Jenkins. And Quincy Moore with 2 points. Dowling was 1 for 1 at halftime at the free throw line. That may change here in the second half. For Centennial, their leading scorers were Cab Klingner and Evan Abbott at halftime with 6 points each. 5 points for Sean Tunks off the bench. 2 points for Rex Jensen. Will Smith had 4 points at halftime, but add 5 to that, so he's got 9 points to lead Centennial. Will Smith, the 6'2 junior now, or 6'2 senior. Out of the timeout, Centennial with the basketball. With it is Caden Clark. Dribble handoff goes to Keaton Kasperbauer. His shot with the left hand, no good by the freshman, and a rebound out to Dowling and Keo Quiles.
Maroons are getting the 7th rebound in the third quarter, so they're
Dowling,
attacking the basket.
Yep, in transition, long three. It's no good by Paoli, and a rebound out to Centennial and Sean Tunk. Sean all the way down, his shot up and good. Sean Tunk shoots and scores. And he's got 7 points off the bench for Centennial. Quiles for three in the corner, it's no good. Rebound Dowling, and that is Quincy Moore with the offensive glass. Here's Coppola with it, and his fall-away jumper no good, drew the foul. And officials look at each other, will be a shooting foul.
I think Tunk's kind of disagreed with the call a little bit, so officials having a conversation with him, kind of calming him down a little bit. Good job out of the officials, just making sure that they're in control of the game. Don't let the guys, get a little wild out there, as you can see sometimes in high school basketball.
That foul's on Sean Tunks, his second. He'll have a seat on the bench, and he's replaced in the lineup by Will Smith, who was out for just a brief moment. Moons inbound the ball to Quincy Moore. Good to see Big Zero in there. Now to Quiles for three. It's no good, but an offensive foul on Moore on the pass. So Quincy picks up the foul, his first. Nope, check that. It's Noah Martins with the foul. That's his second.
No, it went hard along the baseline and looked for the kick out, but good job by Centennial holding their feet and drawing the offensive foul.
Since Mr. Maindering's here, we're going to have a few football questions for you and some of the coaching staff. He's having administrative duties tonight. An offensive foul called on Centennial, and that'll be on Will Smith. I was just going to try to get that in, but we had always want to get the basketball people in, Ava Zedeker, Coach Meyer, but I do have questions.
I'm sure
we got
there's a lot of
we got a litany of them.
You probably didn't get many questions that night in the Unidome, and
you guys all
probably
left.
Your opportunity.
You guys all got in the bus and left.
There wasn't much that we wanted to sit around and watch.
We passed you on the other side of Iowa Falls coming home. My goodness. There's a three-pointer. It's no good by Dowling at top of the key by Noah Martins. Rebound Centennial. Now the other way we go, and down the lane. Abbott's shot is good. They'll count the basket, and a foul on Dowling. It'll be on Martins, his third. So Abbott with 8 points tonight. 45 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Dowling leading 51-32, and we've got a timeout on the floor called by Dowling. We'll keep it here. I want to talk to you some more. I got questions for you.
Yeah, I bet you do.
51-32 Maroons with 45 seconds to go here in the third quarter. But now back to the game, Jimmy. I'll tell you what, Maroons are playing very well. Of course, they get to the two-time defending state champion on Friday. I'll get you a good seat, courtside next to Dowling bench. How about that?
That's never been good because it's real close to O'Hare, and
it is.
O'Hare gives me that look like you have no idea what you're talking about, so don't continue to contribute. But
you keep writing down plays for them that don't work.
More on a serious note, again, it's one of the rare times you've been to a Dowling function where you don't hear Denny O'Grady's voice reverberating throughout the walls here, and I have a tendency of looking down at the score table, and it's just so not familiar when you look down. You don't see Denny, and we always kid Denny. He always had that bag of popcorn that they always got in it, and his Pepsi that he would always drink, and that always satisfied the Denny, and he was happy. And there was one thing I read about Denny recently is, he was the sound. He was the sound of the Dowling athletes, and that's so true.
It is.
That he gave sound to the Dowling athlete. Didn't matter if it was, if you were the quarterback on the football team or you're the junior high runner, he was the sound of the Dowling athlete, and it gives me chills just to thinking about Denny and that he's no longer here, but gosh dang it, we're always thinking of him and his family.
No question, and for listeners that may have joined us late, the longtime public address announcer for all sports here at Dowling for the most part, Daniel Grady, passing away Sunday at the age of 76. He was battling brain and lung cancer. We found that out at senior night for the football team when Denny wasn't quite himself. As action on the floor, Centennial with the ball, and they drew a foul underneath their own basket with 3 seconds to go, 51-33 Dowling, and a foul will be on Quincy Moore, his first. But yeah, he started having issues there, and then here we are 6 weeks later, and his funeral will be Friday, or rather, visitation Friday at St. Francis in West Des Moines from 4 to 7 p.m. The funeral will be 11 o'clock this Saturday morning at St. Francis, and that'll be a full house, and a lot of us will be in attendance. So our thoughts and prayers to his sister Maureen and her husband Mike Badeau, and 4 nieces and 1 nephew. Our thoughts and prayers with the O'Grady family. And then we come to the end of the third quarter with the score. Dowling Catholic leading 51-34 over Ankeny Centennial. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo back with the fourth quarter in 1 minute here at the Dowling Gym on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com.
All right, we're back here at the Dowling Catholic Gym in West Des Moines. Start of the fourth quarter, Dowling Catholic leading 51-34 over Ankeny Centennial in this Central Iowa Metro League boys contest. Dowling girls a winner tonight, 56-52 in the top 5 matchup in Class 5A. Corner 3 is Centennial throws zone to start the fourth quarter, and a three-pointer no good by the Maroons. And a whistle and a foul, loose ball foul off the missed shot. Nathan Jenkins shot the 3 and missed.
Coach Fontana's changing up a little bit, comes out 1-2-2 zone. See if they can force Maroons to shoot a 3 and see if they can stay in this game by Dowling's misfortunes of either making or missing these 3-point shots.
Charlie Train with the foul, that's his second. Charlie with 14 points tonight, and I see Mr. Crandall got that correct on the board. Thanks for the plug. Somebody had to be right in the first half. There's a shot by Centennial, no good. Dowling in transition. Corner 3, no good by Paoli. Tip, no good. Another tip up and in by the Maroons, Maddox Capola.
Capola just stayed high enough in the rim and just and really worked his control. Tipped it in at the top of his jump, and that's what you hope. Don't come down with the rebound. Stay high with the ball, and that's what Maddox Capola did.
I like this energy by the Maroons tonight, and that sets up Friday's game, the traditional Dowling Valley game, and now Centennial drives in the lane. The ball stolen away by the Maroons. This is Paoli, and he goes coast to coast and scores. Lucas Paoli with 10 points. And it's 55-34 Dowling. Once again up by 21, equaling their largest lead of the night. Centennial with the ball. Here's Clark with it. Caden for 3. It's up and over the backboard, no good. It'll be Dowling basketball with 6.5 minutes to play.
You look at through 3 quarters for the Maroons, 19 of 28 from the field, 3 of 12 from three-point arc, 22 total rebounds through 3 quarters, 10 turnovers for Ankeny Centennial, 13 of 29 from the field, 0 of 5 in the game from 3, 14 turnovers, and a total of 11 turnovers, 14 rebounds through 3 quarters for Centennial.
All right, so Dowling with the ball in their offensive end. There's a shot that's no good. Rebounded out by Will Smith. He goes coast to coast. Layup good. Smith went right in over Paoli for the basket.
3 possessions, 3-point shots for the Maroons. And, they've had such success attacking the rim. And now they're, you get a big enough lead, you start thinking, hey, I can hit these shots and just get out of your game plan. Stick to your game plan. You gotta keep a team down when you got them down. Don't let teams in by poor shooting.
55-36 Dowling. 5:40 to go. Reminder, we'll have the post-game show on Iowa Catholic Radio. Head coach Justin Anderson of Dowling Catholic in his second year will join us with maybe a player or two. Here's a 3-pointer by Martins. It's no good. Weak side rebound Maroons. That's Jenkins with it. Put back up and good. Nathan Jenkins with his 8th point of the night. Now Centennial the other way, and we've got a whistle and a foul on Dowling. And that'll be whistled on Maddox Capola, his 3rd.
you see the Maroons, and I thought one of the keys for the Maroons as you come into this season is, as I mentioned, selfless basketball. I see how many kids can you get into double figures, and you look in the scoreboard now, Maroons are sitting with 3 players in double figures in Jenkins, Paoli, and Crane, and Mattis Capola being very, very close to that.
Now corner 3 good by Cab Klingner. Klingner with 9 points. That's Centennial's first 3 of the night, Jimmy.
Trapping full court press for the Maroons, and gets a timeout out of Einertson just to settle things down, get reorganized, especially if they're going to start pressing on you.
Is that correct? First 3 of the night for Centennial?
That's first 3 of the night for Centennial. Now they're 1 of 7, and we talked about what we've seen out of Centennial the first 2 games of the year is that their shooting percentage has been very, very low. I think they're shooting 17% from the 3-point arc in 2 games, and if you're a basketball team and you're learning more and more from film, I think you're going to see Centennial being forced to shoot threes based on defenses that will crowd the paint area and force them to shoot. So they got to prove to other teams in the CIML that they can shoot the ball from the 3-point arc.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Blessman International, Bozen the Florist, and Construction Professionals. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 57, Ankeny Centennial 39. Again, the girls' game won by Dowling Catholic earlier tonight, 56-52 in a battle of top 5 teams. Dowling girls ranked 2nd, and Centennial ranked 5th. The Maroon girls go to 4-1 on the season. Centennial falls to 2-2. And don't forget, Friday night will be courtside at the Valley Fieldhouse, the Bill Cold Iron Fieldhouse. Fieldhouse versus gym. I just got a text from California, Scott Babinett, saying, I remember the debate a year ago that we had. What's the difference between a field house and a gym?
I don't think we ever answered it. So if he can do his research in California, those people over there are a little bit smarter than you are. But
wow,
maybe we can get that debate finally cleared up. But you talk about football and playing Valley in our last game of the year, and turning around and seeing Valley again, and a lot of those players we saw on the football field. It's just going to be too soon for me. And
you'll be courtside. You can say hi to him. You can tell him what you tried to do. Tried to run this route, and you covered it and did that. All right, Dowling out of the timeout. Centennial in zone. They get it to Crane. Layup good in the lane at the horn. The shot clock going on.
Just having a court awareness at Crane, because he didn't have that ball in his hand very long, knowing that shot clock was going down. Did a great job getting that ball in the basket.
Crane with 16 points, and now Centennial the other way. And they attack the glass, and shooting and scoring is Evan Abbott. Abbott with 11 points.
Down 18, middle of the fourth quarter. Bob Fantana's team is not going to go away. Full court pressing the Maroons, forcing another timeout by Coach Einertson.
Dowling calls timeout, and Paoli drains a 3, and they'll wipe it out. And we will take a 1-minute break. 4:03 to go here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 59 and Ankeny Centennial 41. Back in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for programming comes from Klein Electric, a local family-oriented electrical contractor, a 100% employee-owned company with branches across the Midwest to provide comprehensive electrical services. Klein Electric is able to help with any residential and commercial project. Learn more at kleinelectric.com.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com. 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
And we're back here at the Dowling Catholic Gym, West Des Moines, home opener for Dowling on the 2024-2025 basketball season, as free throws coming now for Evan Abbott, and his first free throw is good. Abbott with 12 points tonight, in double figures for the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars, who trail 59-42. Dowling is led by as many as 21. Second free throw good. 13 points now for Abbott. And pressure, 1-2-2, full court press by the Jags.
got to keep the ball moving. Don't let it sit in one spot. You got somebody flashing to the middle, which right now the Maroons just have somebody stagnant in the middle.
Steal by Will Smith, but he stepped on the sideline right in front of the scorer's table in front of us. So it'll be Dowling basketball. Shot clock at 20. Oh, they're going to reset it. 35. There you go. It was in possession of Centennial momentarily.
Noah Martin's picked up his 4th foul on that last defensive possession, and Coach Einerson's keeping him in the game and let him play out. But Noah Martin's is finding his trouble with the dribble drive, just not being able to hold his feet, play defense on the ground, and that's where he's drawing his foul troubles.
Whistle and a foul on Centennial. Will Smith picks up his 3rd. That's the first team foul of the 4th quarter on the Jags. And Centennial pressure in the backcourt by Klingner, and he knocked it out of bounds, and officials kind of had to get together, and they gave it to Dowling.
Again, high-pressure defense by Ankeny Centennial, as I mentioned. Bob Fontana is the game's never over in his mind. He's going to play as hard as he can. His kid's going to play as hard as they can. You're 0-2 on the season, and I think it just sets a.
Well, the ball gets inside the Crane and he slams it home. That's a way to break a press.
That's how you break a press, and great job by Crane. But again, I just think Coach Fontana is setting a trend here with this team and just letting them know that we're young and we're going to keep battling teams.
Crane with 18 points to lead Dowling. The 6'9.5" junior. I just found out it's a half from Coach Einerson before the game. Now Dowling with the steal, layup good. Martin's with the basket. Now Centennial gets the ball down court, and a shot up and no good by Klingner. Now corner 3 by Abbott is good. Evan Abbott, 16 points. 2nd 3 of the night for Centennial. Dowling the other way in the front court. Smith. Or rather Jenkins. Now skip pass over to Paoli. Maroons now opportunity to run their offense without being pressed, and a whistle and a foul on Centennial.
Great job by the Dowling coaching staff is they break that press, and you can see the energy going up, but you hear yelling from the coaches, patience, and it's such a good message to send to your team is, look at the scoreboard, have some patience, find a good shot. Don't let Centennial force this tempo of this game as they're trying to claw back into it.
63-46, Dowling leading Centennial with 2:34 remaining. Substitutions for the Maroons, as Dowling will get Noah in the lineup. Leo Pagano played linebacker for you a little bit on the football team, and now a steal by Centennial. Smith with the steal, lost the ball, and goes out of bounds. It'll be Centennial basketball. So Dowling get a little careless there with 2.5 to go in the 4th, leading 63-46. It'll be Centennial basketball from the corner. Klingner will throw it in. Puts it in, and shot off the glass good by Will Smith. So Smith shoots and scores. That's his 13th point. .210 to go here in the 4th quarter. Dowling breaks the press. Martin's with it. Corner 3, no good by Keylace. And offensive rebound put back up and in. That Martin's?
It was Martin's with his 13th point.
That's what I thought.
Getting the offensive rebound, finding it, put it right back in.
So Noah has 13 tonight. Whistle and a foul on the Maroons. Paoli with his 2nd foul. This team foul number 4 on Dowling, 2 on Centennial. So Jags got a few fouls to give with a minute 50 to go in the 4th quarter.
You see the Maroons are up at 15, 17 points with under 2 minutes and really not going deep into their bench. And I think if you think about, you want to get these young kids some playing time and continue to play through. They're only into their 2nd game of the year, still trying to figure out who they are, and don't want to really go too deep into the bench too early into the season. Get these guys some live minutes onto the court, get them some well-deserved experience, because you're really going to need your full team come Friday night.
Pagano picks up the foul.
You look at Pagano and you always wonder, these linebackers who play basketball, are you a basketball player playing linebacker, or are you a linebacker playing basketball, and you can really tell by the way kids move on the court. So I'm really into. I've not seen a ton out of Leo playing basketball because he's played in the lower levels up until this year, and so I'm just curious: is he a linebacker playing basketball, or is he a basketball player playing linebacker?
How many times you ask him during your 13-week season?
Leo is a kid in football who took great opportunities or a great advantage of his opportunities. Played such a strong role as a backup linebacker, but when he got in, he really made a difference, and he's going to come back with us next year and can do great things.
Keelace down the lane. His shot good. Gio Keelace, this 7th point off the bench. 67-50, Dowling by 17. Minute and a half to go, and on the baseline, once again, Abbott getting loose. He shoots and scores. 20 points for him.
Abbott's been a bright star in a struggling night for Centennial with his 20th point on the night and outpacing most of his teammates in scoring.
Maroons by 15 with a minute 10 to play here in the 4th quarter. Both teams sending players to the scorer's table for the next substitution. Dowling playing the shot clock down. Crane at the free throw line. Banks it in. Good. Banks open on Tuesday night, huh? Charlie Crane with 20 points.
During one of the timeouts, Tommy Hurley made his first appearance in the game, number 1 for the Maroons.
Going to wave the shot off. Abbott with the 3. Coach Fontana wanted a timeout. And it's a substitution timeout for both teams. 47 seconds remaining. Dowling 69. Ankeny Centennial 52. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. I was going to do this earlier and forgot. I got to go.
Yeah, some new players for the Maroons. Christian Basili has checked in. Gavin Jones has checked in. Of course, I mentioned Tommy Hurley's in there. Number 21, Jimmy Bonhover has checked in, and Jacob Peterson has made his first appearance.
All right. Looking to see when the next Centennial Dowling game is, and still efforting that. Jags with the basketball underneath. Bank shot off the glass. Good. Yes, the bank is open, and Keaton Kasperbauer, the freshman, shoots and scores for the Jags. His first 2 points. 69-54, Dowling by 15 with 15 seconds remaining. With it is Gavin Jones. Now a corner 3 right in front of us. No good by Tommy Hurley. And the rebound out to the Jags. This is Colben Beshin. Ball goes to Kasperbauer. He stops, left elbow, has the ball poked away, and that'll do it. 69-54 the final. Dowling boys come away with a win on their home floor to start their season. They go 2-0 on the year. The Maroons defeated Urbandale last Tuesday night, 69-64 at the Urbandale gym, and come away to win tonight, 69-54 for Centennial. They've now lost 3 in a row, losing to Waukee Northwest, which is a preseason top 5 team in Class 4A. Lost to Waukee Northwest 60-38 at the Centennial gym, and last Friday night, losing at Ankeny in the Battle of Ankeny. It was the Hawks defeating the Jaguars 58-48. So Coach Fontana, the Jags going 0-3 to start the year.
It's a rarity, out of Ankeny Centennial or a Bob Fontana coach team, is that they have such a slow start of the year, 0-3. But a young team, as we mentioned, not a lot of returning depth or experience. But one thing out of Bob Fontana and Ankeny Centennial is that they will certainly keep their nose to the grind. They're going to continue to develop, find kids, who are going to come out and shoot the ball. And had a great shooting night out of Abbott with 20 points tonight. So they're going to find other kids who can contribute and be a tougher matchup as the season progresses.
And it's gaining experience. These are 2 teams that had to be two of the most inexperienced teams in the 9-team CIML. And tonight, Dowling prevailed 69-54. So it's a doubleheader sweep here at the Dowling Gym. Dowling girls a winner tonight in Game 1, 56-52 over Centennial. And the Dowling boys a 69-54 winner over Ankeny Centennial. We'll take a 2-minute break. Ed, come back to the Dowling Gym. Got to say hi to a few people, and we will here in 1 minute. Final score, Dowling 69, Ankeny Centennial 54. Back with more post-game. We'll have a 2-minute break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. Online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com.
Remember, O man, that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. These words we hear each Ash Wednesday to remind us of our death and judgment awaiting us all. While our bodies are the source of so much focus in our culture, they will decay into dust till they are ultimately resurrected or reunited with our souls at the end of the world. God has granted exceptions to this, however, in the incorruptibles, those saints whose bodies are miraculously preserved intact after death as a visible sign of their holiness. These miracles have withstood in-depth scientific and medical examinations that rule out any possible hoaxes and make clear that they are entirely distinct from bodies preserved through extreme temperatures or mummification. When St. Bernadette Subaru was examined in 1909, 30 years after her death, her body appeared the same as when she had been alive. It was odorless, her skin was supple and had coloration, while the rosary in her hands had rusted over. Today, her body can still be observed, and pilgrims state that she looks as if she were merely asleep. And then take St. Anthony of Padua. Years after his death, his body had decayed, but God had preserved the great preacher's tongue alone. Those present reported that it was perfectly pink. This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from the Catholic Tuition Organization. Reduce or eliminate your Iowa income tax and instead give to the Catholic Tuition Organization and receive 75% Iowa tax credits. These tax credits are going fast, so reserve yours today and learn more about the Catholic Tuition Organization at ctoiowa.org. ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their futures.
Catholic Tuition Organization, a great investment in our kids.
Support for programming is provided by construction professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. ashworthvision.com.
And welcome back to the postgame show here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, following Dowling's doubleheader sweep here on their home opener over Ankeny Centennial. In Game 1, Dowling girls winning 56-52. In the boys' game, Dowling 69, Ankeny Centennial 54. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale, Vinny Cataldo on the board back at the Iowa Catholic Radio studios. His dad is Mark. He's got a tremendous first name. I love that
Mark,
already.
And you know, we're checking Vinny's timing tonight, coming in and out of breaks.
Hey,
not bad.
What about the music he's playing?
Not bad.
That bumper music is outstanding, Vinny. Thanks to Matt Wilkham for that, too. He
brings a little bit of youth to this group.
I don't know how to take that. Well, Mr.
Well, I mean, you had people coming over here, saying hi, telling them how much weight Mark's lost, and,
I don't even get that at work, and you got a guy here that's kind of hovering over us.
I'm shaking Mark, and all these lollipops are popping out of his jackets.
They're not. Hey, you got the stats. I mean, these stats, folks, these stats are unofficial, so I apologize to Centennial fans and Dowling fans that are listeing, because I don't know if these are even accurate.
We're doing our best here.
Go ahead. I got scoring to get here. Go ahead.
Centennial tonight went 18 of 36 from the field, 50%. Really brought things on with their three-point shooting in the fourth quarter. Made 3 shots, but finished 3 of 8 from three-point, 18 total rebounds, and 14 turnovers for the victorious Maroons. Shot the ball really well inside the paint, 28 of 38, 73% inside the arc, 3 of 18 from three-point shot. They really let it loose here in the second half. Finished with 16% from 3, 26 rebounds, and just 12 turnovers. So, what you saw to the Maroons tonight is a little bit of an up-tempo play at times, really taking the ball to the basket, really didn't finish or look for three-point shots early in the game, but, kind of lagged back and shot the threes. But liked what he saw out of the Maroons, especially down low with Charlie Crane. I mentioned at the beginning of the game is who was going to fill that Joe Broderick shoes, who led Class 4A in rebounding, and certainly Charlie Crane is somebody we can see doing that here for this year Maroons team.
All right, I think I've got the scoring totals done for both teams, and there was a lot to get to, so we'll start with the visitors from Centennial. They had 2 players in double figures, led by, I think you called it earlier, Jimmy, Evan Abbott with 20 points tonight. He had 6 at halftime, and had 14 in the second half for his 20 points. And 16 points for Will Smith. He had 4 at halftime and 12 in the second half for Smith. And rounding out scoring for Ankeny, Cab Kligner with 9 points. 7 points off the bench for Sean Tunks, 2 points for Rex Jensen, and 2 points for Keaton Kasperbauer. How about this for Coach Fontana? 11 for 11 at the free throw line for Centennial. That matched what you had, or were you trying to keep
I
that?
had one miss, but listen, Mark, tonight's a night that you haven't made too many mistakes. We had a lot of cut-ups because Mark was right a few times, and keeping those cut-ups. And
so let's go. Well, we start with the scoring on the Dowling side, and your football guy, Crandall, tried to cut out Charlie Crane from 3 points. I have Charlie for 20, and he had him for the wrong amount at halftime, but we fixed that. Thank you, Mr. Cataldo, for getting that right. So Charlie with 20 points tonight, led Dowling in double figures along with Noah Martin's 13, Lucas Paoli with 10. And rounding out scoring, Nathan Jenkins with 8 points, 7 points each for Maddox Coppola and Gio Quiles, and 2 points for Quincy Moore. Maroons were 2 of 4 at the free throw line, as Coach Einertson's right here is like, was I close, Coach? He's laughing.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking about Charlie. This is how young we are, right? So the last 8 minutes, you can tell how young we are. And it's always nice to win while you learn. That's something we're trying to steal from football, right? They're really good at winning while they learn and grow up. But Charlie was smart enough to tell me, I said, Charlie, do you always work on those turnaround bank shots from the free throw line? He goes, I just wanted 20 points. I'm like, well, that's the last thing you ever want to tell me. Now he's not going to be in the game with 18 anymore.
And Coach, he did it with the backboard lighting up as the shot clock went off. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. But, that's fair. Usually we'd make one more pass. But
he did. So.
Yeah, that was fun. It was nice to see our guys get going offensively. I honestly thought the worst part of our game plan was the offensive side, and that's my job. They did a lot of things defensively that made us uncomfortable. That's part of the reason for the turnovers is we just didn't rep a lot of the situations that we saw. And honestly, a lot of the play calls that we had in place today were not going to work against how they were defending us. So I'll take the L on that. Our guys still made plays, and our defensive game plan was great. So a lot to learn, but that part was nice.
And Coach, Jimmy and I can attest to this. Appreciate the kids attacking the glass when they had the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Martins, all your guards, they just attacked at will in that first half, and there was no turn off that switch. When they had the opportunity, they used good judgment and attacked the glass and got a lot of transition points.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I guess is probably not well known about us, but it's a really talented guard group, and obviously we have some bigs we're pretty proud of as well. So in man, they've been able to do a lot of things aggressively to the rim. The zone stuff, I guess we just need a couple more reps. We've seen about 5 quarters of zone now, and I just don't think it's been as smooth. But it is nice to get game reps of that as well. But yeah, guards did a great job attacking.
You mentioned the youth of your team, and you only have 9% of your offense coming back this year, and you really can
I
go.
didn't need to know that.
You really go one of two ways with a group that's so young. Is that somebody's going to go out there and try to shoot the lights out, that this is an opportunity, or you have a bunch of unselfish kids going out there trying to make plays for each other. And I would say it was more the latter. Watching your young team attack the basketball. You only shot 6 3-pointers in the first half and shot 15 of 20 from inside the arc, but you saw a lot of guys contributing, a lot of guys moving the ball around. What are things that you're trying to teach a young team on how to play selfless basketball?
Believe it or not, I never had to teach them that. That's one thing that's been really special about these kids individually. 4 of them play on the same AAU team, and they have I feel like they've actually hurt their recruiting a little bit because they share it so much. So they'll go in summer and you'll have one guy get 10, one guy get 10, one guy get 10, one guy, and nobody sticks out, right? But it makes your team really good. I told the story about the Butler Bulldogs that made it to the national championship 2 years in a row. Well, they were in my conference when I was in college a couple years later, but that's what it reminds me of. Just a lot of guys that are born unselfish. They're going to go out there and create for others. I actually had to tell Gio, when you come in, you got to have a shooter's mentality because, we could pass that thing around until the buzzer goes off with this group. Right. So we need one guy to really go in there with the shoot-first mentality. But that was great to hear we only had 6 threes in the first half because one of our biggest weaknesses last year was just kind of leaning on the 3. And this year I think we can create a lot of problems attacking. So
something we talked about, especially a possession I remember in the second half when the ball touched Paoli, who had a fairly open three, didn't shoot it, passed the ball over to, I believe, Keeley's, who didn't shoot it, gets it to Martin, who attacked the basket and was rewarded with 2. And you talk about last year, probably both of those 2 3-point shots were shot. And, it was a coin flip if they were going to go in. Probably less than a chance of a coin flip was going in. So, so you see that maturity out of a team, and hopefully those continue in this young season. As a coach, you always say, okay, what are things that we can work on? One thing that, I saw on the defensive end is communication or lack thereof.
We just don't talk very much.
I think that's one thing you see out of your team. And so who's going to step up and be a leader and try to be
What's
the
Dante
communicator
doing these days? What's Nick doing? I mean, that was one of the best things about last year's group is they were loud to a fault sometimes. Alier, right? This group is willing to share the sugar, but definitely not a big talking group. And I would say off the floor as well. It's the same type of thing. They're very stoic, and we have I'm asking for any tricks. So if anybody has any tricks to get your group to talk more on defense, get my email here from Mark Amadeo, and
they'll
find
I'm
open to all. It's how they are. So we're trying to break some habits, because the difference between where we are and where we want to go is probably that. And honestly,
I think they're probably going to learn, by doing it so often, you're going to find an athletic team like Friday with Valley who's going to move tremendously without the ball. And if your team's not talking, you're going to find, the lack of the defense, the holes opening up. And so that becomes so important, and it may be something that they're going to, cut their teeth in finding a team like that is going to move.
You always hope it doesn't get to that point where you're learning by getting dunked on. Right? You want to be able to rep it somehow in practice. But no, I love that you mentioned that, because now that's one more guy I can add to the tally that's told me that. And you're all right. This has been a big weakness for this group since we got them in spring.
We're listening to the post-game show here on Iowa Catholic Radio following Dowling's win in the boys contest and the girls contest tonight. Dowling over Centennial 69-54 in the boys contest, 56-52 in the girls contest. And Coach, that sets up your back-to-back weekend, the first this year, and that is at Valley Friday night, and then Saturday afternoon at Roosevelt. And then next week you're in the first half of the before Christmas break by going to Johnson a week from tonight and finishing out with Waukee here.
It doesn't get easier, does it?
No, it doesn't. But I'm impressed with this young group. As Jimmy and I said, we got to recognize who are these kids. Paoli, I remember, but he was battling injuries. Maddox Coppola was a late starter for you last year. After that, who is this group? Some of these kids were playing in that secret JV squad that you had, and it showed. They showed experience. You come out ready, and you know what? This young group, Jimmy says we were the youngest compared to Centennial with inexperience in the CIML. Is 2-0 after 2 games. So you got to be happy with that.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Now you're going into the Hornets' nest. 2-time defending state champs at the Valley Fieldhouse Friday night. Your thoughts on that matchup?
Well, we've watched a little bit on them already. Nicholson and I were already kind of diving into it today. I mean, I feel like they've got guys that were not big players for them that will be. So that's it's going to be fun. I mean, obviously not a lot of people expect us to go in there and win, probably except for the ones in our locker room. But we'll give them our best shot. Everything we've been developing is to beat teams like them, so let's let it rip.
All right, and Coach, before we let you go, I know Jimmy and I and Coach Berker were talking about a little different here in the gym tonight. Denny O'Grady, missing his voice, some of the charisms of Denny that we're all used to, and our thoughts and prayers with his family. But anything on the Dowling boys side? We had talked to Kristen Meyer. It's just different.
I actually had Kevin do our tweet about Denny, because he probably has the longest relation. Well, he and Nahas would have the longest relationship. And that was a big hit. It's cool to see how Denny has affected so many people at Dowling, especially ones that have been around a long time. Our guys were kind of hurt by this. It surprised me a little bit, but I think about it. A lot of our guys grew up coming to games and listening to him. And,
absolutely.
Just an incredible personality, the Maroon Stars thing, the consistent smile and excitement. We will miss him, and he will be remembered very fondly here for a very long time. And I've only been here a year, and that is obvious.
Yeah, he was very. Now you came over here as a visitor too a few times.
And the cool thing about coming here as a visitor is he gets just as excited when a Lincoln kid hit a 3 than when a Dowling kid. So
that's Denny.
Everybody thought he was special, home or away.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your thoughts, and we keep his family and his memory in our thoughts and prayers during this time. The funeral Saturday morning for folks that are tuning in late. Daniel Grady passed away on Sunday. His funeral will be Saturday at 11 o'clock at St. Francis, and Friday night, the visitation right before the doubleheader at Valley. 4 to 7 at St. Francis will be the visitation, and I can't say enough about this community coming together for Denny
Absolutely.
and his time and your team. That was awesome, and we appreciate that. So, well, Coach, we're going to leave with that. Best of luck to you, and we'll be over there. Now, if this guy starts drawing up plays and him and O'Hare start getting into it, because we're going to be sitting
Is that
right
what
next
was
to
going on? Oh, I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah,
that's
You're going to look down and say that's an out route.
Yeah.
That's not.
And he's drawing up football plays.
Well, we could have used a couple out routes down the stretch today. So
he's drawing up football plays.
We're looking at all of them.
Well, Coach Anderson, thanks for joining us on the post-game show. Looking forward to this young team this year, gaining experience, and you'll have one on Friday at the Valley Gym. That'll be Friday night, and CIML football, Dowling Valley.
Come on out. Let's let her rip.
Did I say football? I meant basketball.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry, Coach.
That's
the guy. The guy with the bad hat on over there.
We don't feel any better about it, so let's go get at him.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Justin Anderson, the Dowling boys basketball coach. Jimmy Cataldo, any final word you want to get in?
I think it's exciting, and we talked about seeing the rejuvenation of a young team and seeing kids who haven't been part of the spotlight jumping into the spotlight, and it's going to be exciting to follow this team throughout the course of this year and see what they can do. And as Coach Anderson mentioned, you're going to learn something from every game, and I think you take something from a double-digit win and you figure out what you can do to improve, and you're going to have to be better than you were tonight against a very good Valley team on Friday. And again, very, very poignant comments from Coach Anderson about Denny O'Grady, and your heart goes out to a guy, and you hear him so often, and you knew you were at a Dowling event when you heard Denny's name. You didn't have to see him; you just heard his voice and his enthusiasm. He mentioned his enthusiasm. It's his enthusiasm for the Dowling athlete. It didn't matter if you were a starting quarterback or you're a junior high player. His enthusiasm reverberated throughout, and that's just something you're going to miss, and you're probably not going to get over for quite some time. And he was a special guy, and I've always said there's no bigger fan of Dowling and Dowling athletes than Denny O'Grady, and it showed throughout the years.
And it showed during games because he recognized them, and he really did. He was very solid.
You look back at the football season, and the first time I recognized Denny was not in the press box was that junior high the JV game Monday against Southeast Polk, and you just heard we didn't have an announcer, and you didn't think much of it. You thought just Denny was busy or something, that something came up, because it was rare that he wasn't there, and then you come to find out that he was sick, and man, it was just such a gut punch.
And we appreciate Father Jim Kirby, who stepped up tonight, came back and helped out. I'll tell you, two people I want to recognize right now, Colleen Webb and Jason Webb. They've been really, really good throughout this time here in the Dowling community. Colleen, the athletic secretary here, started the GoFundMe page, and Jason, they're just good people, good to Denny, as many of us were, but they were really close to him in the final year, and who would have thought this would have tragically end. And of course, Kevin Oddie, who is at the book.
That's
Kevin
right.
has been at Denny's side for all the football games. He does a book here, Girls and Boys, and I noticed that in Kevin. So our thoughts and prayers for the Dowling family, the ones that were really close to him, and including Denny O'Grady's family. So we want to keep that in mind, and we will this weekend. It'll be a heck of a funeral on Saturday morning.
It sure will, and to know that he knew he made the Hall of Fame here at Dowling was special.
That was
and
awesome.
It's a great tribute to the athletic department, and to do something for him. I'm sure it meant a lot to him. At this later stage of his disease.
Absolutely. Well, Jimmy, thank you for those thoughts, and thanks for being here tonight. And we'll see you down the freeway, a couple of exits here on Friday night, Dowling Valley.
It's going to be tough. Turning the page, football now, basketball, but let's have a little bit of excitement for this group in this basketball season. The girls look tremendous as well. So there's some really, really good things going on with Dowling boys and girls basketball, and I hope a lot of people tune in and watch and listen.
And pretty good competition with this league.
Yes.
CIML is one of the best, and we see it every night. All right. Thank you, my friend.
Yes.
Jimmy Cataldo, my broadcast partner. That'll wrap up our broadcast here from the Dowling Catholic Gym in West Des Moines. Our thanks to Mike Burkert, my partner in Game 1, and Jimmy Cataldo in Game 2. Our studio producer is Vinny Cataldo, and yes, that is a relation to my broadcast partner. This is Mark Amadale for the final time tonight. Dowling boys a winner in Game 2, 69-54, and the Dowling girls a winner 56-52 over Ankeny Centennial in Game 1. So doubleheader sweep. And our next broadcast will be this Friday night, Dowling at Valley. This Friday, December 13th. Pre-game at 6 o'clock. Tip-off of the girls' game at 6:15. Boys to follow at 7:45. Join us for the broadcast. For my studio producer, Vinny Cataldo, this is Mark Amadale saying goodnight and so long from the Dowling Gym. Have a safe and blessed, faith-filled evening.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Mercy One, Blessman International, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bozen the Florist. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The preceding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.